Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can fix your residential construction company's brand and positioning to be the company that people want by name to get their residential construction jobs done. But they are happy to pay for it because they know you as the premier go-to high trust construction company. Now, if you own a residential construction business and you've heard things like this when you're on the phone with a lead, like, hey, I just need to look over the other quotes, or let me get back to you to source over my other options. If you're a business owner and you've heard these things on calls with leads frequently, then you 100% have a positioning problem. You're being treated like a commodity, like a line item, like a shopping around opportunity. As we go farther into this video, I am going to show you exactly how you can become the premier option in your area for residential construction. That way, you can have the high prices, have the good profit margins, and only work on the jobs you actually want to work on. Now, before we get into the how and how we become the high premier brand, the well-positioned brand, the expensive option, we first need to dive into a little bit of the psychology behind it. Think about how you would spend your money when going and buying a RAV4. You're going to go and try to find the best interest rate, the best price, the closest dealership. Because in the end, a RAV4, well, it's just a RAV4, you know? Now, try to think about it from like a rich person buying a Lamborghini. Think about them buying a Lamborghini in that same scenario. Or maybe a piece of designer clothing or a bag like Prada or Gucci or whatever. In those scenarios, you don't shop for the best price. You pay the premium because the positioning tells you it's worth it. Their brand tells you it's worth it. You don't go into a showing room of a Lamborghini and when they tell you the price, you're shocked, right? You know exactly what you're getting and you're willing to pay the price for it in that scenario. Now, this same concept and psychology applies to your residential construction company. When your positioning is off, it creates a negative domino effect. You market cheap jobs, so you get cheap leads, and because of that, you have low margins, and you're constantly just stressed just to stay afloat. Now, let's dive into how we can actually turn your brand from a RAV4 to a Lamborghini. Not even trying to be corny or anything. This same methodology applies to your construction company and applies to the company you want to actually run, control, and own. Now, let's dive right into it. Now, first, we're going to start with the content component of your company. To be the choice, you have to stop telling people how good you are and how you're the best at it and start showing the actual evidence. Most people and most guys in this space are just posting a blurry photo on a Facebook page that's half built of a pool deck or a patio. That's not positioning. That's half-assing your social media and just kind of a hobby at that point. You need to turn all of your top 20 projects into a content machine. Now, the golden content is your before content, your middle content, and your after content of every high-end project you are fulfilling. The beginning shows the pain, where the project is at before you even started, where the customer is at, how they're feeling, the pain. The middle, the white glove experience that you're bringing this customer through, how everything is all cleanly and being done in an organized fashion. And finally, the end, how good it came out, how much happier it made the customer be, and how everything came together to make such a beautiful space. And then the next kind of content is walkthrough content. So this is very low edited, authoritative content, as we call it. This is you, the owner, or someone high up in your business, going around and showing off the details, explaining why you put things together like this, the different details of the projects. This is going to position you as an authority and someone who knows what they're talking about in this industry. And finally, and arguably the most important, is reviews and client interviews. A 5-star rating, that's just the baseline. A video interview of a happy client describing their peace of mind and explaining how good everything came out and how well the experience went with your team. Those are the things that are going to change the minds in prospects during their buying decision and make you a boatload of more money on the jobs you actually want to work on. You need a system in place that is collecting all of this kind of content consistently 100% of the time. Now, moving on to the in-person branding, because your authority online needs to match how you're operating and how you look in person. You can't claim to be white glove service if you show up in a beat truck and stains on your shirt. Your logo needs to look high-end. Your crews need to be wearing branded t-shirts. Your trucks and vehicles need to be clean and wrapped in branding. When you look like a professional organization, homeowners feel safer giving you $100,000 plus checks. If you just look like the Joe Blow with the hammer down the street, they are going to haggle you for every nickel. Now that we covered the basics of online and in person, you need to understand how important it is to be everywhere simultaneously and consistently. For example, you have your YouTube. This is your long form authoritative content. This is where you're doing your in-depth walkthroughs, maybe some more longer videos of client interviews, maybe some behind the scene documentary style of your company. And then you have your things like your Facebook and your Instagram and even TikTok if you want to do that. These are the visual candy of your brand. They show off short form videos, high end photos, and the day to day culture of your company. If you're only on one platform, you're invisible. There is thousands of other residents in your area on the platform that you're not being consistent on right now. And if you post the right content on all of those platforms, you will be able to capture all of those people and make a boatload of money for your company. Now, like for example, imagine a prospect sees a long form video on your YouTube channel, and then a day later, they get a retargeting ad from your Facebook with a really high end video. And then they go to your website and they see all the details and contact information they need to see to start getting a project in the works. These touch points matter and do a lot of the selling for you. Now, your positioning and your branding doesn't end at your marketing and brand material. The positioning and the experience that you reflect to other people go all the way into your sales process. For example, when someone books an appointment, you should be sending them pre-sale assets. Things like the video showing the proof of your process, how you do things differently and why it's the better way. These things are priming up that prospect even that much more to increase the odds of a high profit, high revenue sale. Don't just hand them blueprints or a floor plan. Present to them the outcome when you're closing on projects. You have to provide them an experience. You have to hold their hand and bring them through your company's experience. So all those dumb bids in their email inbox get drowned out by the white glove experience of your brand. Show them exactly how their life will change with this new space installed and done the right way. When you provide a high-end presentation for the design, they won't even blink when you show them a higher estimate. Because with your branding and your sales process, you have proved to them time and time again that you are the premier go-to choice in the area. Then there's things that even go beyond the sales process and beyond your branding. It's what you're discussing with these clients. You can have very good ways of handling price objections. Explain to them things like how you're actually the cheaper option because we do things the right way the first time. And if you went with a mediocre contractor, you would be calling us 9 months from now to redo everything. When you do this, you're actually the cheapest, but in a good way, because you're telling them and assuring them that you're bringing the optimal quality that will save them headache and money down the road. Making content consistently, having a dialed in, streamlined sales process consistently. All of this is hard and requires a lot of time and investment. And it's not on you to put this on your crews. They are builders and your tradesmen, not your content creators. But fortunately, this is exactly what we do over at Restless Systems. We don't just give you advice or a marketing plan. We build the actual infrastructure and automated systems that make all of this happen headache-free. We set up the automations, the follow-up sequences, and the content loops that ensure you are perceived white glove every single time without having to lift a finger or add any more headache to the current operation that you are running. In fact, when you work with us, we make your operation more streamlined, more predictable, and we make sure that you are showing up all the time as the premier brand in your area. Now, we've done this for countless residential construction companies, building out the infrastructure, showing them and building the assets out, position them as high end, and we have generated tens of millions. If you have pride in what you do, but no ego stopping you from growing, then you're definitely a good fit for us, and you should definitely book a call down below. And the good thing is these consulting calls are completely free. We will go over and audit your entire company and show you exactly what we would do for you to make you thousands of dollars and streamline your operation so that you can get out of the weeds and become a real owner of an asset that is running smoothly. Stop being a commodity and build the assets and build the systems. Become the premier choice. A quick heads up, what I will say, we are very selective. We only work with residential construction companies doing $700,000 or above because we work with established companies looking to double down. Your company needs to be doing this much revenue, have an admin role, 2 or more sales reps, and 2 or more crews moving. And we need the owners to have a high growth mindset, plus a really big pride in their work. But just because you aren't at this level doesn't mean you can't use us to help you out. Thankfully, down the road, we are building a community/program that is for all, okay? It's going to be at a much lower rate, and we are going to give away everything, all of our assets, how we build out systems, how we structure operations, how we make, how we price jobs, how we market without spending a bunch of money, and everything like that. We are going to consolidate all of it and put all of our knowledge from all the companies we work with into one program. And so if you want to get on the waiting list for that program, you can simply message us at Restless Systems on Facebook, Instagram, or you can message me personally, Grant Fielding, on Facebook or Instagram, and I will have all of those pages linked below. Now, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this, and please implement these things and become the top company in your area. If you want to get on a call with us, you can book it down below. If you want to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, you can do it down below. And if you want to join the program that is coming out this year, you can get on the waiting list by simply messaging Restless Systems on Facebook or Instagram, or messaging me directly, Grant Fielding, on Instagram or Facebook.